So we're happy to have you here today. We would love to hear from you. So we would love to hear your first name, where you're logging in from, and you can put this in the chat. So first name, where you're logging in from, and the career field that you're most interested in today. So that could be project management, that could be digital marketing or Salesforce administration. But make sure to, in the chat, select that you're chatting to all panelists and attendees. But we would love to hear where you're calling in from and what areas are of interest to you. So we will get started in just about 30 seconds. But again, just an invitation to introduce yourself in the chat. All right, well, we will get started on time. Welcome to this webinar. I'm excited to be here with all of you. A couple of housekeeping things just before we get started. We will answer any and all questions that you have, and we will use the Q&A feature to answer those questions. So please post your questions in the Q&A feature, which should be on your toolbar on Zoom, and we will answer all of them at the end of the session. All right, so welcome to the Digital Skills Career Certificates Workshop and webinar. We will be speaking to you about the offerings today from the Harvard Division of Continuing Education Professional Development Programs. And so we'll go through those today with you. We'll do some introductions, and you can actually see the agenda right here. So we'll tell you a little bit about what Pathstream is and some of our certificates, which we're going to overview with you today. I will do a quick platform demo of what the experience could look like for all of you as students, and then we'll do a Q&A at the very end. So as for introductions, I'm going to pass it over to Linda, who is our colleague at the Harvard Division of Continuing Education, to introduce herself to the group.
Yeah, hi, I'm Linda Cross. I'm the director of the Professional Development Programs at Harvard Division of Continuing Ed. I've been affiliated with the division for more than 30 years. I've served in a variety of capacities. I've been director of communications and marketing, director of PR and media relations. I've been director of operations for the professional development programs, and most recently as director of the professional development programs. My academic background is in journalism, in public relations and management, and it's something that I use daily in my role as director and mentoring my team, and we're growing and just thrilled to be involved with Pathstream. So.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. All right, so we've got lots of people here from the Pathstream side. My name is Lauren Pizer, and I am the VP of Learning Experience. So have been involved with all the people on this call in building and developing these programs. So I am joined by a couple of coworkers, Anthony Jones, who is the lead on our Salesforce program, which we'll be speaking about today, as well as Naomi Baker, the lead on our Asana project management program, and Nina Sloat, who is the lead on our digital marketing program. So you'll hear from all of these wonderful people today about the programs that they have created. And I'll do that demo of the experience live at the very end. So before we get into what exactly is Pathstream, I wanted to give Linda a minute to talk about why Harvard's Division of Continuing Education has decided to partner with Pathstream to create these programs.
Yeah, thank you. So we've partnered with Pathstream to deliver the digital skills certificate programs, which are designed to meet the evolving needs of both employees and employers in today's competitive technology-driven skills economy. We chose Pathstream because of the quality of their program content and their strong delivery model. Pathstream shares Harvard's philosophy about the importance of delivering an engaging experience which is facilitated by instructors that are provided by Harvard Division of Continuing Ed. The certificate programs that we're offering with Pathstream feature continually updated curriculum, which is really important to us. It's in collaboration with industry experts, Asana, Facebook, and Salesforce, and instructors that we've selected to bring subject matter expertise and practical real-world experience to the programs. Our goal is to provide students the right tools and credentials from our institution to achieve desired career outcomes of the participants.
Great, thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
So, as you may have seen in job descriptions and kind of just being out there in the job market, the demand for digital skills is really growing across various industries and job functions. And so you see that 80% of jobs are really that digitally intensive kind of job that's requiring a use and knowledge of software skills and digital platforms. So some examples of those digital skills are Facebook Ads Manager or social media marketing ads manager platforms. Other examples are Salesforce, which is the largest CRM, or a project management tool like Asana. And so more and more jobs and more job descriptions are requiring the use of these digital skills. And so Pathstream has partnered with leading tech companies to create certificates that prepare students for these kinds of modern jobs. So we've partnered with Facebook, Salesforce, Asana to create programs that are really meeting the needs of today's evolving job market. And so today we're going to speak to you about 3 certificates that have been developed with tech partners to really kind of fit the needs and fill the needs that we're seeing in the job market today. So the first is the Salesforce Administrator Career Certificate, which is 3 courses, 18 weeks total, and it's really preparing you for those kinds of entry-level Salesforce administrator roles or roles that are really just using Salesforce, which there are just so many of them today. And so after this certificate, you will be prepared for the Salesforce Administrator exam, which is something that you may have heard of. It's a very popular sort of industry standard exam. In the Facebook Digital Marketing Certificate, also 3 courses, 18 weeks, you're really going to be exploring the fundamentals of marketing, marketing analytics, and social media marketing. And so using tools such as Facebook Ads Manager, Google Sheets, and Google Analytics, which you've heard of. The last certificate we're going to talk about today is the Asana Project Management Certificate, which again, 3 courses that's covering sort of foundations and fundamentals of project management and then moving into various aspects of project management. And this certificate is aligned with the CAPM exam, which is another industry certification in the project management space. So Naomi will talk about that certificate in a little bit. But each of our certificates are 3 courses long, and they're created to prepare you for a growing career area, as we had been discussing. At the end of this program, of each program, you will earn a certificate that is from the Harvard Division of Continuing Education Professional Development Programs. And so that certificate is going to be sort of branded and certified by the Harvard Division of Continuing Education, as well as by the tech partner that your certificate is partnered with. At the end of the program, you will earn and receive career services to you that are very individualized and one-on-one at no additional cost. And the way in which that you will learn in these programs is through what we call tool-based learning. So we're bringing the platforms like Ads Manager, Google Analytics, Asana into the classroom experience. And so by completing labs and projects, these hands-on labs that I'll show you today, you're actually going to be using the tools that you would need to use on the job right into the classroom. And those are the way that you're going to submit your assignments to your instructor. It's all much more mirroring the real world than maybe other types of online courses. And so these projects that you do, you'll also receive personalized feedback on them from your instructor. And so I'm going to explain how the instructor works in this experience, but this is an instructor-led online experience that we have really seen support students in an online learning environment. So I mentioned these Pathstream career services that you will get access to when you finish the program. And so let me go through this a little bit because this is a really popular offering and an aspect of our program that's a real differentiator. So Throughout the program, you will be able to receive kind of targeted job opportunities in your inbox each week. We'll be sending you jobs that are aligned with the certificate that you're enrolled in. But in the final course, you will have the opportunity to meet with your career coach in a one-on-one sort of Zoom call where you're going to go through career resources, your goals, how we can help you achieve those goals, and some of the services that we offer to do that are resume review, LinkedIn review, mock interviewing. We have lots of sort of material to help you to network, and we offer those introductions to our hiring partners as well. So this is a very hands-on approach to achieving your career goal, and we find this to be a really important aspect of the program for students. So a couple of program details that I want to kind of clarify up front and get out of the way, because I think they're really important when you're considering different options for where to enroll. So there are 3 courses in each of these certificate programs today, and that is for a total of 18 weeks. So we'll provide you with a schedule to stay on track each week, but this is a flexible and self-paced program, which means that you do not have to hand something in at the same time each week, or you don't have to log in at the same time each week to meet with your instructor. If you want to work on Saturdays and Sundays, you can work on Saturdays and Sundays. So there's that flexibility, there's that self-paced nature of the program, but you do need to keep up with sort of the recommended pacing from your instructor each week so that you stay on track and finish the program. So that's really important. You'll also have a dedicated instructor there that is available to support you one-on-one, answer questions that you have. They will grade your projects and provide you with that qualitative feedback on your work, but they're really there as your guide to bring you through this experience. But again, they likely are not going to have, lectures every day that you have to log into. That's sort of not the way that the program is designed. And again, at the end, you will earn that certificate that is sort of dual branded from Harvard Professional Development Programs and from the tech partner. So a couple of testimonials from students that have taken these programs before you. Students really love the opportunities that come, that the real job opportunities that they get exposed to at the end of this program. They enjoy the labs, which I'm going to show you today, which are a really easy way to learn the technical tool that you're going to see on the job. We have a very active platform. So instead of kind of sitting back, reading, watching videos, there's these sort of knowledge checks and little ways to test your knowledge as you're learning. And the information is really broken down into smaller pieces because we know that you may not have time to sit down and learn for several hours at a time. So we really want to break the content down as well. So I'm going to pass it over to each of the certificate leads to kind of tell you about each of their programs in more depth. So Anthony, you are first.
Thanks, Lauren, and hello, everyone. Thanks once again to Harvard for having us, and yeah, excited to see all the folks that have attended today, and I am happy to tell you more about our Salesforce program. So Salesforce, as Lauren was alluding to, is one of the, if not the most popular CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management Software, that's out there on the market today. Maybe some of you are familiar, maybe not, but Salesforce is expanding in such a way where they really see their primary competitor these days as Microsoft. So it gives you a sense as to the scope and how ubiquitous they're going to be in the market and how many jobs are coming as a result and are already here. So we saw that and we decided to partner up with Trailhead, which is Salesforce's official learning platform, to create a program that would take somebody who's a complete beginner in Salesforce all the way to potentially becoming a Salesforce administrator. So you can see that we, again, as Lauren was talking about, our whole philosophy here at Pathstream is to get you into this software. So we don't just want to teach you things that are academic or theoretical. If we're teaching you Salesforce, we want you to be in Salesforce completing projects and working hands-on with that software. So you can see that you're going to be working with the Salesforce Sales Cloud. We incorporate some things about Google Sheets, and the entire curriculum is built around projects that are hands-on and are based on real-world scenarios that you would be doing if you had an entry-level position with Salesforce. So you can just kind of take a moment to check out some of these bullet points. It'll give you a sense as to the 3-course breakdown that we have in our Salesforce program. Again, it's structured to take people who are complete beginners. So there's no barrier to entry here. In this first course, we really set up the foundations of Salesforce, the foundations of the sales process, the foundations of CRM to get you a good solid background, so that in courses 2 and 3, we can start to teach you some of these more advanced Salesforce administrator techniques. And the career outlook is, what we've seen thus far from our students, it's pretty strong. I mean, there are roles, obviously the Salesforce administrator, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second, but there are a bunch of adjacent roles as well that we find that our graduates have a lot of success with. Some of those include being a sales representative. Other roles include being a sales operations specialist or a Salesforce business analyst. They're all slightly different skill sets that we get into a lot more depth in the actual program. But the key thing here, again, is that Salesforce experience. And so if you have that foundation with Salesforce, we found that it's a really nice differentiator on the market. And so just to maybe some of you at this point, a logical question would be, well, so what is a Salesforce administrator, Anthony? And it's a good question. That's one that I'll answer now. A Salesforce admin is essentially the person who works for an organization that uses the software to kind of configure and customize Salesforce for that specific organization. So what you'll find when you get into Salesforce, and maybe I've seen in the chat, there are some people who are already enrolled in the program or maybe have like tinkered around with the software. It is a massive platform with tons of different use cases. And so what a Salesforce admin does is they listen to the business problems or the needs of a particular organization, and then they tinker, they modify, they customize Salesforce to fit that specific organization. So if you're somebody, if you like to solve problems, if you like to use software and figure out custom solutions, if you're sort of a big picture thinker and you're able to kind of figure out how everything integrates and fits together, we find that the Salesforce admin track it's a great role for people like that. And you can see, as I mentioned at the beginning, Salesforce it's growing rapidly. Maybe you've seen in the news about their different acquisitions, including Slack and Tableau a little bit before that. But just to reiterate, they really see Microsoft as their #1 competitor. And you can imagine all the companies out there that use Microsoft products. Well, imagine a world in the not too distant future where all these companies are also maybe using Salesforce products instead. And then think about all the jobs that accompany that and how you can differentiate yourself on the market by having that Salesforce skill set. So you can see any industry you can think of, they're potentially using Salesforce because of all these different uses. So we listed a few of these industries up here, but basically if you're out there and you have an industry in mind that you really feel passionate about, that you want to work in, chances are there's a Salesforce job there. And here's just a little bit of the data to kind of back up that growing demand, but we've seen, millions of job postings for Salesforce jobs, CRM administrator roles in the last year. And we're seeing this pretty big growth in the jobs that are requiring Salesforce skills. And the nice thing about Salesforce, I mean, this is, take it with a grain of salt, I'm biased, right? But the nice thing about Salesforce is that it's not the most complex software out there to learn. So it's enough of a technical skill to differentiate yourself on the job market, but it's not so technical that it's super difficult to learn. So I think it's a nice like medium level of challenge that a lot of students, we have people that come from all different backgrounds. We have people who come from playing classical music in a symphony to decide, you know what, I'm going to pivot, I'm going to do something different. Can I learn Salesforce? And they find out that they can. So again, I'm biased. I'm the lead of the program. I feel passionately about it, but hopefully if you're interested, you'll come check it out and learn more.
Thanks, Anthony. I'm Nina, and I'm the leader for the Facebook Digital Marketing Certificate. So excited to share with you, kind of like Anthony did for Salesforce, a little bit about each of our 3 courses in this certificate and what you can expect to get out from the end of completing the cert. So as a bit of an overview, myself and others designed this certificate alongside Facebook, so subject matter experts within Facebook, as well as from other companies, to make sure we have this breadth of experience that's embedded into the courses. And our big goal is to prepare upskillers, so folks hoping to get from one place to the next in their career, to gain hands-on experience with digital marketing tools like Google Analytics and Facebook Ads Manager. So we chose to partner with Facebook because I think everyone here has probably heard of them. So it's a nice kind of stamp to have on your resume and co-branding with the certificate. But also because the tools that they offer are analogous to likely any tool that you'll use as an entry-level digital marketer. So the tools you're learning in this course, likely you'll use Google Sheets, but if not, you'll end up using a translatable tool. So you'll have that experience going into whatever role you choose to enter. You can skim through some of the example learning outcomes, so what you can expect to learn from taking each of the 3 courses. As kind of an overview, in the first course is this very broad foundational course about both just business basics and strategy of marketing. So your big goal at the end of this is to design a comprehensive marketing campaign that uses all these business and marketing practices that you've learned throughout the first course. The second course, the big questions you're trying to answer are, how do I know if a campaign was successful, and what can I do to improve it? So you'll be learning how to calculate metrics and apply them to campaigns to answer those big questions. And then the third one kind of neatly ties together those first 2 courses. You'll be applying those metrics and how to measure campaigns, but really focusing on social media marketing. So you'll be creating Facebook ads and posts, as well as Instagram and Twitter, and learning how to both measure and create successful campaigns. So career outlook, if you've been poking around for entry-level digital marketing jobs, you've probably noticed there's lots of titles out there. Some of the specific ones that we align our courses to are titles like Digital Marketing Coordinator and Marketing Specialist. Kind of more generally, you can think after taking this cert, you'll be prepared to pursue an entry-level job or paid internship in digital marketing. We've also had students apply digital marketing skills to their current job. For folks that want to, they like their current role, or they're trying to get promoted in their company and want that extra skill set. And we've also had folks who are entrepreneurs and have their own companies and just want to gain that skill set to apply to their business idea. So the data says that there's about 300,000 job postings for digital marketing roles in the last 12 months. There's certainly jobs out there. And there's been a 20% increase in demand for these jobs in the last few years. So definitely an exciting space to be entering, and one that you'll want to stay on cutting edge with tools and principles around. I'll pass it off to Naomi.
Thank you, Nina. I'm very happy to be here and looking forward to some questions in the chat. I'm here to talk to you about the Asana Project Management Certificate. I like to say that the certificate prepares you in 3 ways for a career in project management. The first is that it prepares you for Asana. And Asana is a software. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's a very popular software. And if we go to the next slide, we'll actually be able to see some images of what it looks like inside. So here's a little peek at it. It's a very collaborative software. It's really easy to use, and it's used by over 50,000 organizations. And we built these courses with Asana to help you prepare to get those critical skills that you need for today's jobs. The second thing that this certificate teaches you is preparing you for the CAPM exam. The CIPM exam stands for Certified Associate in Project Management exam, and it's run through the Project Management Institute, which is a very well-regarded institute. If you can get this exam, it's a great signal to employers that you're serious about project management and you know how to walk the talk and you know all the terminology in the project management field. So it's a great thing to have under your belt. And finally, the final thing this certificate prepares you for is those real world project management experiences that you might be expected to do when you walk in the door as a project manager on your first day. For example, building a work breakdown structure or creating a scope statement. So those are the three ways that this certificate prepares you. And I wanted to also talk about the different tools that we use. So as I've talked about, we're going to use Asana, but we also use Google Sheets. So I'm sure some of you are very familiar with Google Sheets and some of you might be new to it. So you'll be learning to use Google Sheets as a project manager would in this course. And the other thing that you'll be doing is completing projects. And these projects are based on real on-the-job scenarios. And you can use these projects to showcase to your future employees the work you've done to display that you're ready for a career in project management. Okay, here's a little look inside the courses. So in these three courses, the first course is the Foundations course. And this is, as the name implies, teaches you a lot about foundational project management concepts such as stakeholders and scope. It also covers lots of different documents that you need to know how to make, such as the product charter. And yes, it's a very well-rounded look at project management and goes into topics such as what is the project manager and leadership and management and that type of topics. The second course is a little more hands-on. It's called Effective Project Planning, and you'll do things like creating a project schedule, creating a budget, creating a communication plan, and also developing kickoff activities and learning about different kinds of meetings. Finally, you're entering some more complex topics such as risk, quality, and integration. And in this course, you'll be identifying project risks, updating project plans, and communicating those changes with stakeholders, and also getting into some more advanced Asana topics like dependencies. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the career outlook. So this certificate will prepare you for titles such as project manager and project coordinator. But it can also prepare you for many, many more jobs than that. So we've seen that students who have taken this certificate pursue entry-level jobs or internships in the field of project management. They've also been able to apply their project management skill set to their current job. And we've even had students who have written to me and said, I've got a promotion based off this certificate. So it's not just for people who are looking to change careers. And then the other thing, as we mentioned, it prepares you also for the Certified Associate in Project Management exam. Okay, what the data says. So there's been millions of job postings for project management in the last 12 months, and there's been a 40% growth in jobs requiring project management skills in the last 5 years. And as we've talked about, skills like managing stakeholders and timelines are really in demand. So it's not just related to project management roles. Learning project management skills can really make you very valuable in the workplace.
Great. Thank you so much for everybody for your thoughts and your presentations here. I'm going to go into a platform demo now to show you a little bit about what this platform is going to look like as a student. So I'm going to switch over here. I want to make sure everybody sees this. What you're seeing here on my screen is the Foundations of Project Management, Course 1. So this is the first course in the Asana Project Management Certificate. And when you log in as a student, this is kind of your home base that you're going to see with all of the different sections of content that you are completing in this course. And so this course would be 5 weeks each. And you can see that there are 9 sections in this program, and your instructor is going to pace you. So they're going to say, okay, we're in week 3, so we want you to complete, section 6 or 7, something like that. So they're going to give you that instruction, but it's really up to you with how you navigate that in your schedule and make time for that. So each of these is a section with lessons within it. So you can see these are lessons with some time estimates. So you can kind of really plan your day and plan how much time you have for this. So I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to go into this lesson here, Introduction to Asana. So this is the first time as a student that you're going to be introduced to the Asana platform. So I'm going to go into this lesson here. And we have a little bit of an introduction at the top. We always like to introduce concepts with a lot of images and graphic organizers so that you kind of understand what you're going to be going into as a student. Here's an example of how Asana is organized that you kind of take screenshots of and bring with you. And what we have are these kind of knowledge checks. So you'll get a little bit of information and a little bit of learning, and then you're going to go right into an experience where you're getting kind of quizzed on what you know. And this is not for a grade, but this is just an opportunity to quiz yourself on what you just learned about Asana. So I might select this, submit. I can see that this was incorrect, but I can show the answer and see, okay, it was projects and here's why that's the answer. So these are just small interactive ways for you to check your understanding and check your knowledge as you're learning. We also have videos in the experience, short videos, more knowledge checks. And I will quickly scroll down to the bottom of this lesson where you will be taken to what we call our labs environment. So when I click this button, I think I'm gonna have to reshare actually, but when you click this button, what's going to happen is basically your own instance of Asana is going to launch. So let me make sure this is on the new share right here. Yeah, so this is what's going to come up. Can you all see that lab? Great. Okay, so here's what one of these Pathstream labs I've been talking about. And when you press Launch Lab, what's happened here is on the right-hand side of the screen is Asana. And this is your own unique login of Asana in actually the premium paid version of Asana that you get for free as a Pathstream student. And so you can see here that you can manipulate this side, you can click on things, and on the left-hand side are a set of instructions that you're following to navigate this assignment or this project or this activity. And so this is really kind of the experience of learning Asana, that this is what it's going to feel like as a student learning Asana. And so this is a lab that's not graded, but sometimes you might have graded activities or projects where you are using Asana, and there's a couple of instructions on the left-hand side that are helping you to navigate this experience. There's also knowledge checks and videos and GIFs on the left-hand side that help you to navigate the experience. So this is just a very brief kind of little taste of what the platform looks like and what it will feel like as a student. But I do want to kind of go back to what we were looking at before and share a couple final things before we move into kind of the Q&A portion. So let me just get back there. All right. Okay. So I would love for you all to kind of start entering your questions in the Q&A feature if you have any. You might be motivated by seeing other people's questions, so we'll be doing this for a couple minutes, but please enter any and all questions that you have. We are here to answer them. And in case some of your questions are about cost or financing, we do want to get those out of the way and give you a minute to think about your questions. But the total cost of this program is $35.28 for the sort of 3-course experience. And you can pay in full or use one of our 6 or 18-month installment plans that are all interest-free. So that's really important to note. Many of you may also be within organizations where your employer could reimburse you for part or all of the cost of this program. So that is definitely something to explore with your employer. Many of them have programs that pay for education. Another common question that we get is, how much time is this program going to be every week? Now, this will depend a little bit on your schedule, right? If you're working part-time or full-time or not at all. But in general, we ask that students commit 10 to 15 hours a week on Pathstream courses. So this can be, as I said, a couple hours each day. It can be all on the weekends or on 1 or 2 days of the week. That is up to you. But you definitely don't want to be in a position where this course is 18 weeks and you're doing all of the work in the last 2 weeks of the program, right? We don't want to be in that position. But so you want to make sure you have that kind of handful or 2 of hours every week to work on this program. And there are no prerequisites for this program. You do not need to know anything about Asana or digital marketing or Salesforce in order to enroll in this program. We just ask that you have a high school degree or equivalent. So I am going to hop into the Q&A and see if there are any questions coming in here from all of you. I'll stop the share just to make sure I can get this. Great. Okay. So there is a question about scholarships for international students opting into courses. And I'm wondering, Linda, if you know anything about any scholarships for international students that your organization may offer.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do not offer any scholarship opportunities for any students, international or domestic. So.
Got it. Okay, great. And so the enrollment deadline for project management, yes, great question. The actual, let me just look that up really quick. So the last day to enroll in this program is, well, the certificate is going to start, I believe, August 23rd. I will double check that. But that is kind of the next time that you can take one of these programs.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to
correct.
double check that, Christina. Is that right, Linda? August 23rd?
Right. Correct.
Perfect. So any and all questions, you know, they don't have to be well thought out. They don't have to be very specific. We are here to kind of take anything you've got and sort of can re-go over anything that we already presented today. So take a few minutes, think through what maybe hasn't been answered yet. I'm going to put this slide up here so you can get an email address if you have questions. And just there's another question. Can I enroll in all of these programs? Yes, you are absolutely welcome to enroll in all of these programs if you would like. We would want to make sure that you have enough time in your schedule to do all of these programs, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't enroll in all three. Any other thoughts or questions coming in? All right, well, I will put this slide up real quick. So you can see that our next program is starting on August 23rd. All of these programs will be offered on that date. And if you have any questions, here is an email address that we would love for you to contact if anything is coming up for you. And Daryl just asked if we could go back over the Facebook program again. So I'll go over those slides really quickly. And then there was an anonymous question about the CAPM exam. So this is a great question. I'll answer that one quickly. The CAPM exam is a paid exam. And so we do not offer, that price of that exam is not included in this program, but everything that you need in order to study and pass that exam is included in this experience. So that is a separate fee that you will need to take for the CAPM. If you are interested in the Salesforce exam, we do offer a 50% discount on the Salesforce exam, the administrator exam. So I answered that one. Violet asked how often we need to have a one-on-one meeting with an instructor. So that's going to be very specific to your professor, your instructor. So some instructors may may say all meetings are optional. And, you know, you can just set up time with them when you're free. Other instructors might say, you know, I'd like to meet with you at least once in the program. So this is a very individual decision based on the instructor, but your instructor is there and available to help you and to meet with you. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go quickly over the Facebook program again and make sure that there's not any questions that you have, Daryl. So this Facebook program, let me show you the 3 courses. And so as Nina explained, the first course is really about the fundamentals and the foundations of marketing, okay? And so this is sort of introducing you to really key marketing concepts like the 4 Ps, a SWOT analysis, a competitive analysis, and you're going to be creating a marketing plan for a company of your choice. The second course is really about marketing analytics. And so you're diving into how to interpret results from ad campaigns, how to interpret results from A/B tests. And the third course is diving specifically into social media marketing, creating ad campaigns using Facebook Ads Manager, and analyzing various kind of reports that come from your ad campaigns. Nina, anything that I'm missing and want to call out about the program here?
No, that was great. I would just emphasize that I think a really great part of the certificate, Errol, is that we teach tools like Google Analytics and Facebook Ads Manager, things that you will either definitely need to use as a digital marketer or are analogous to other tools that you'll need to use. So we definitely emphasize kind of the practical application of the certificate.
Great. So Daryl, let us know if there's any other questions there, but I'm going to move on to another question around the overall price of the programs, which I'm going to bring up again. The full cost of each of these programs, if you want to enroll in one or more than one, each one is $35.28. And again, we have these really great 6 or 18-month installment plans that are interest-free that help you to break down that cost so that you don't have to kind of pay it all up front if that's not something you want to do. So right now, I think I have gotten everybody's questions so far, but I will give it another 20 seconds. Make sure there's no last thoughts. All right. Well, it was a pleasure to be here with all of you. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you for the attendees. We hope to see you in one of our courses sometime soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day.